I'd like to call the meeting to order. Have a roll call, please.
Mr. Erdis,
Here.
Mrs. Booms,
Here.
Mrs. Helsel, Mr. Kunkel, Mr. Rainier,
Here.
Mr. Redmond.
Here.
This is good.
I now need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make the motion, we approve the agenda with exclusion of committee reports. This is Craig Artis.
Support.
I have a motion and support to approve the agenda with the exception of committee reports. Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
Yeah.
He didn't split it. 'Cause he'll eat
Opposed, no.
all the onions and peppers.
Motion carries. We need to approve the consent agenda, which is the approval of previous minutes, communications, activity reports, and approval of bills.
I make the motion, we approve the consent agenda. Craig Artis.
Second. Dale.
Moved and supported. Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. This time we have an opportunity for comments from the public. Okay. We'll have another opportunity later. Administrative reports, Mr. Hamilton.
All right. Hello. Good evening, Board, Superintendent Blazak, and community. I don't really have anything to add to my report except for just highlighting this is March's Reading Month. And so we have a ton of activities every single day. There's something going on to celebrate reading and really get kids engaged. Today was Crazy Sock and Slipper Day. So if any of you were around, you should have wore your crazy socks and slippers. Superintendent Blazak did see me and was like, "What are you wearing?" before she knew exactly what day it was. So it was pretty fun. Other than that, last day of the quarter is the 26th, so that's coming up pretty quickly. And then we should see what our virtual numbers are next month at the board meeting, which should be pretty interesting for moving forward with our virtual program compared to our in-person program. But that's all I got.
Thank you. Superintendent, Mrs. Blazak.
Okay, I have a few things to update you with. The first thing, just briefly, summer school. Friday, we are going to be having an in-depth conversation with our instructional leadership team, looking at what our summer school program is going to be looking like this year. It is going to be obviously encompass K-12. We're looking at credit recovery. We're looking at additional support tutoring with middle school, and then a program for elementary. There are monies that are coming from the state via the federal government, that there are some certain criteria, and so we're going to be looking at how we're going to be able to dovetail our program with that to get those funds. So I will have a further update for you at the April board meeting. I also received an update from Tony Fox just tonight, and I'm just going to quickly read to you what he said about the timber for harvesting progress. So, and he did send me a couple of pictures. He says the operators are piling tops to help facilitate replanting, hopefully spring of 2022. The plan would be to burn these piles next winter. And he's going to be able to get with the DNR and to make sure that we're going to be okay to do so. He did talk about that we did have to spray some pine stumps because the weather did break to prevent the HRD. And so things are moving along very well. And he, like I said, he did send me a couple pictures, and I will share those with you guys later this evening. I'll shoot that out to you. I also wanted to let you know that at the superintendent meeting this week, Monday, we had a conversation with the health department, really looking at our process of quarantining, how we're going to be able to reduce these things. I believe, and I can be corrected on this, but the Michigan Health Department did not decide to go with the CDC recommendations and move to a 7-day quarantine instead of a 10-day. And so we're still operating under the 10 days. Remember, we did have a 14, we've moved to a 10. We have not yet moved to a 7-day quarantine because the state of Michigan has not approved that. In addition, we did talk to the head of DHD 10, Kevin Hughes, about if we can test our staff with antigen testing, why can't we test our students? And so we did push on that because we're trying to keep kids here. And is that another way to mitigate what's happening and to keep kids here at school? So I just wanted to keep you in the loop that the superintendents are pushing on this, and we're working very hard to try to keep kids here at school as much as we can. So just an FYI there. Any questions for me? Okay, that's all I have.
We'll move on to action items at this time. Excuse me. Sinking fund project pay applications.
The board has received applications for payment on the sinking fund project. The recommended action is that the board approve the following payments from the sinking fund. This is for in the high school with Northern Michigan Glass. We have a $10,438 item and a $19,188. I will tell you that we've gotten all new windows in the middle school and high school. So we're moving along. There's a couple windows that still need some minor adjustments with the opening device, with the way the windows open and close, but they had to reorder those.
Okay, I would entertain a motion at this time.
I make a motion to approve the bills.
Support.
Moved and supported. Any discussion? All in favor say yes.
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 Yes, but I have a question. I'm sorry, I was on mute. Mr. President, may I ask my question?
Yes,
Kim, how are we doing with the trimming out of the windows with Mr. Martin?
That is completed.
It is completed?
So we've gotten, yes, we have that all completed, and we have paid Mr. Martin, and so that was all done pretty quickly after Christmas break.
Okay, and I'm going to assume it looks well. It looks good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I haven't been in there, since COVID, and I haven't been able to. I haven't gone in and have seen the health wellness center. I've kind of stayed away, So I apologize for that.
So the health and wellness center is pretty close to completion. We're waiting on the doors. It's been drywalled. We had the health department in there looking at that. As you know, we've already hired a nurse and counselor. So we're just waiting all the other not the bid documents. I lost it. The permits from the state have been approved, and we're moving forward. So that will move along very quickly.
Good. But my only comment was because we were on the oversight committee, haven't gone in and checked that all out. So I'm going to hope to do that when we get released with our COVID.
Very well.
Thank you.
okay, let's recap. I have 3 positive votes. Opposed, say no. Motion carries. Action item number 2, sinking fund project change order.
Change orders are needed for the sinking fund project contractor agreement. The recommended action is that the board approve the following change order to the sinking fund project agreement, and this is for the Wellness Center for Fine Zelstra, $680 increase.
I'll make the motion that we pay the project change order. This is Craig.
Second.
Have a motion and support. Is there any discussion, Mr. Artis?
Not on this one, thank you, Mr. President.
All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Thank you. Number 3, budget amendment.
Now that we are over midway in the budget year and have more up-to-date information regarding revenues and expenditures than when the budget was first adopted in June, a budget amendment is needed. For consideration and review, the board members received copies of the recommended amendment to our current budget at the March board workshop. The recommended action is that the board amend the 2021 budget as follows. Total expenditures, general fund, $13,440,810. Total revenues, general fund, $13,499,912.
I make the motion that we amend the budget. This is Craig.
Second.
Moved and supported. Any discussion?
Oh, sure.
All in favor, say yes.
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 It's my favorite.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. That's a big number. Action item number 4, middle school, high school, section B roof replacement approval.
The board has reviewed sections A and B for roof replacement and has determined that section B over the middle school will be replaced this summer, the summer of 2021. Section A will be replaced summer 2022. A determination regarding the roof of the middle school gymnasium will be made in April of this year. Please note that the Sarnfield roof product will guarantee quoted pricing for this 2-year period per Bloxham. So just to add to that, we talked to Bloxham and they're going to guarantee a 2-year on that quote, so there will not be an increase. We're just taking a look again at that roof of the middle school gym to see if we want to add that to it, which I'm leaning that we may do that. We're just double checking a few things, and I'll have a few more details for you at the April board meeting. But we're leaning towards just going ahead and knocking that out too, just to make sure we don't have a problem. So the recommended action is that the board approve roof replacement of section B over the middle school for the summer 2021.
I make the motion that we approve replacement of section B. This is Craig.
Second.
Craig's the only one that
Move.
says
Moved and supported.
this.
Any discussion? All in favor, say yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Number 5, COVID extended learning plan.
The board has received copies of the COVID extended learning plan for the 2021 school year. This is a required reconfirmation of this plan that will be presented to the board every 30 days for approval. The board will then take any public comments on the instruction, review weekly two-way interaction rates. Prior to the approval, the superintendent will review how instruction is delivered. So I'm just going to take a minute and review that. We have made no changes to our extended learning plan. Again, we are offering in-person education K-12 with parents that choose to have their children educated virtually. We also have that option. Currently, we have 285 students in the district that are still virtual. The rest of the students are being educated in person. So that number has continued to go down, and I expect it will continue to go down even more, especially approaching the fourth quarter, probably after spring break. So we currently only have 285 students that are receiving virtual education. Our two-way interaction rates, which are very important because what that does is tells us that we're able to make contact with our students twice a week, virtually, and sometimes it's many more times, but this is an average in the district. And this is from February 10th to March 9th. So that first week in February, from February 10th, was 90% of our students. We touched base with them twice a week. Week 2, 90%. Week 3, we had 89.5%. And week 4, which is just coming into this week, was 91.8%. So I feel that that is very strong two-way communication. I think if we looked around the state, you would see that that is not the case in a number of districts. And so I think that shows the work that's being done with our teachers and also with those that are going out on home visits to really ensure that we're touching base with our students to ensure they're getting their needs met. Are there any questions from the board before we go to the public comments on the COVID extended learning?
No questions for me.
Me either.
Okay, are there any comments from the public regarding the COVID extended learning plan?
Don't we have to vote on the COVID extended learning plan?
We will. I have to do it after the
Public
comment part, right?
Sorry.
It's
Apologize.
okay. Okay, we're receiving no comments on that. So the recommended action is that the board approve the COVID extended learning plan reconfirmation 30-day review.
I make the motion that we approve the COVID extended learning plan.
And then she'd go from like 9:30 to.
Support.
And then she'd be off for like, it was like very
Moved and supported.
hard to.
Any further discussion?
I'm over here with the attention span of a gnat.
All in favor, say yes.
And
Yes.
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 Opposed, no. Motion carries. Do we want to offer another comments from the public for general purposes?
That's
I guess we
absolutely fine.
We can wait just a second, see if there's anybody listening that has a question. Other items, we have the committee meetings listed for next week or next month. Next regular board meeting is April 14th, and I'm assuming that all of this is going to be in person. God willing, and good health for us all. Did we get any more comments?
No, we did not.
We are adjourned. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good night.